unless you take Jesus as your personal savior. You will burn in hell forever eternity. And so that's how the Roman Empire could grow and make people afraid and not, fight. And then they killed the Knights Templar who were trying to, keep all these ancient teachings alive. And they basically made the religious teachings and all the different, teachings of how to meditate and activate your chakras and the history of the universe and the world and, proper meditations and everything. All the rich teachings of everything. They boiled it down to just this really simple, black and white, like bland religion of Roman Catholicism that, makes people want to spend all their money so they don't have to go to burn in hell forever. Well, at least it made the St. Peter's Cathedral, but so basically, but then they kind of like they're the Illuminati of today, and they're the ones who are in control of the world with the help of the aliens. So maybe like the Illuminati were trying to help the Germans take over the world, because the Germans were kind of more like followers and doing what they were saying, and so that's what the Foo Fighters were. It's like they were actually giving Germans help. I saw this video about aliens and stuff, and I saw actually a video of a Foo Fighter floating around one of these, like, it was like a video from the year 1945 of some like crude looking flying saucer like going whoosh. I was like, damn. But so then fast forward it to today. Today, what she calls it is the Stargate opening. So it's like, all of the planets, I guess, aligning in a certain way, and then the black hole spewing out energy. And I guess supposedly our astronomers can actually see a purple haze coming out of a black hole. Kind of makes you think, it reminds you about the Fifth Element. It's like, oh, we're looking at this black thing coming out. It's kind of like this, but I guess that's like, they're shooting extra dimensional light to us to open up our DNA. So our DNA is going to open up. We're going to be able to shoot up in a fifth dimension, higher dimension, and become gods, be humans, be real humans, where we get to live as long as we want, or maybe live 100 years or whatever. So I'd love if that happened. I'd love to live hundreds of years, because I don't feel like, living 70 years, that's ridiculous. You can't accomplish anything, A decade goes by like this. So maybe because time's going by so fast for us, maybe that means that, we are going to stay healthy. And it kind of, compare us with like 30 or 40 years ago. Like 30, 40 years ago, by the time somebody was 60, they were retired and they were an old person, in their rocking chair. But now, my mom's like 67. She's still working and doing this, doing that, and still has energy. So maybe we still have, and then people who are 35 years old now, are still winning. Like Lance Armstrong, he's got third place in Tour de France. He was almost 38 years old. That was unheard of 20 years ago, 15 years ago. So maybe we're starting to, get older, being able to stay healthier longer, because our DNA is actually opening up and we're getting more advanced. But she says that, we are, we have all these different, parallel universes, parallel realities, an infinite number of different possibilities that happen, and I guess each individual would be in a lot of those possibilities, maybe not all, but a lot. And so the world we live in now, she says most people, though, in the world today, the people who are really closed-minded, like the atheists and like the fundamentalist Christians, and the people who are just like so fused into their ideas that they don't even want to look at the internet and look at the videos of the aliens and the UFOs and talk about it, or they just want to have their heads over their ears and their hands over their eyes and just go like la 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 la, don't talk to me about that. Those people aren't going to ascend into. Those people aren't going to live eternal life. They're not going to go into the fifth dimensional planet. They're not going to live in the utopia that we all imagine. So, that's a big question I have. Look, I'm not making this video to freak people out and to tell people what I believe. I'm just spewing what I heard and trying to make sense of it, because it's pretty wacky shit. Like, what, is the fucking Earth gonna bifurcate into two worlds? One world, the people who are like, you know, we're gonna eat up all the resources, and the human race is gonna destroy itself, and maybe that's really gonna happen for them. And all us who believe, you know, who are like, yeah, transhumanism, woohoo, or we are actually gonna have that. So how's that? Like, well, how's the Earth gonna bifurcate? Like, I mean, that's what she says. And so, like, what I don't understand is, I mean, to me, it's clear that the Earth is, well, the aliens are going to land. I mean, it's clear. It's obvious that we're going to have a utopia pretty damn soon with the increase of gigabyte power, the increase of, and we're going to know about the true history of the Earth, because, I mean, gigabyte power, imagine how big it's going to be. Everybody's going to have a cell phone with the audio version of everything we ever wanted to know. We're just going to type it and we're going to hear it. And because we're going to live longer, we're going to do that. And because we're going to have better education we'd be interested in, we're all going to know the truth. And the aliens are going to land, and this world's going to be whack. And you know what's going to be cool about it is it's not even going to be that wild for us, because imagine how crazy the cell phone is. You pick up this little box and you talk to somebody anywhere in the world. Like, how the fuck does that happen? But it's not weird to us. It's totally natural to us. It's totally natural. So, like, kids, you know, who are growing up now, you know, when they get introduced to aliens coming down, they're talking about, like, energy, you know, chakras and, everything humans, supposedly according to Anna Hayes, is that humans are able to do levitate. I mean, because of our 12-strand DNA that we have, like, we're actually genetically, like I said, we're more advanced than the aliens who are controlling us. Genetically, we're better than them, so, like, maybe they're jealous of us. But, like, humans, we're able to levitate, talk to each other telepathically, teleport. Like, human beings, we're gods. Like, human beings are gods. We're missing the software that we need. So anyways, that's what she says. It's pretty crazy, man. But I mean, if you think about it, I know I'll come across nuts for thinking this, but I think it makes sense to me. Because, I mean, think about how fucked up this would be. Cell phones and computer internet would be to somebody 150 years ago. Imagine, seriously, bring them into the world that we live in now. We live in the Jetsons right now. And to them, it would only be like a dream. I mean, even old people today, even the old people who were raised in a world of totally dark ages, a horse and buggy, are still alive today. They seem totally cool with it. So if they can be cool with the world change that much, imagine how cool somebody would be who was born into this world, where their parents, where they think that they believe in aliens all the time because their parents believed in it, right? Because most people in the life, 80% of the people in the world today do, or at least in the first world countries. Imagine what they're going to be able to accept when they're adults, and that their kids are going to be able to accept. Straight aliens coming down and be intergalactic, and it'll be like normal. It's really not going to be that big of a deal. But what she says is that most people who live now aren't going to be able to deal with that. So maybe what she meant is they're not going to be able to. I don't know. Maybe they're just going to, once you're not alive now, when they die, they're going to have to reincarnate into another planet, and that whole Anunnaki reptilian battle thing, control, having to vampirize off each other and not believe in God and not believe in the connection of everything or whatever, are going to continue off in their own parallel universe or in their own planet for another who knows how long until they finally give up or whatever. But so yeah, leaves lots of questions, like death of a soul, like what the fuck? Not death of their soul, but rebooting, like, I mean, they must be really evil if that's what they need to do. But anyways, it's interesting stuff, man. You'd have to hear it over and over again. But I mean, this girl, she talks a lot for hours and hours and hours really fast and has a lot to say. So hopefully she'll talk more. I mean, look, if I was abducted since I was that age and spent that much time with aliens, I'd have a whole lot more to say than what she said. I mean, she needs to, like, buckle up.